Today's topic, what I have chosen, what I've been speaking, responsibility, and second is compassion. So it's a triangle of responsible, compassionate leadership. And when my wife asked what you're going to be speaking to the audience here in TEDx, oh, you're going to be speaking TEDx? What are you going to be speaking on? And I said on responsible, compassionate leadership. She said, what? 3 words? First, it's 3 big words. And she asked me, do you know even the audience that you're going to be talking to? It's not that audience that you spoke last few weeks in a company or companies. That's not the audience. It's an audience which is in the age group of 18 to 25. And I said, yes, I understand that. I still want to speak this topic, and I think it's very relevant. It's very relevant to your generation, for you as much as it is relevant to us. It is very important that for you to be the next future leaders, you need to be not just responsible, but also show that compassion. So what it is about this compassion? Compassion is not a trait. Compassion is not a characteristic that you can build. Compassion is not a position or a power or an authority that I hold. It is you have to have in you. You have to get caught in it. You have to be caught in it, and you cannot teach. You can't teach compassion. Okay? You have to experience it. You have to have it. You have to show it. You can't tell it. The mother is not telling the child. The mother is showing to the child. The mother is caught in that feeling that the child has here. That is exactly what compassion is here. It is not about standing in the front and asking followers to lead you. It is not saying nothing about us or nothing without us. It's not about that. It's standing together. It's standing along with Him. If you are not along with the people together, you're going to lose them. You can't tell them, this is what I'm telling you, you follow me. It's not going to happen. So you have to be with them. You have to be along with them. You have to stand with them. If you don't stand with them, they're not going to stand with you. You have to be taken along. You cannot, the only way you align the people that you're working with, the people that you're taking along, is by standing beside them, understanding them, caring with them. That's the only way you're going to do it. The reason is because compassion builds that bond. The only way you can build a bond, the only way you can connect, the only way you can do it is compassion. Compassion builds bonds. Compassion is something that builds trust, because trust is something which is extremely important. The world has become extreme. You cannot trust anybody these days. The only way to trust anybody is by showing compassion, by understanding that person's issues, by understanding how deep issue the person has. That's the only way you do it. The only way to do it is by the compassion helps you to build that bond. It helps you to build that trust in the other person. Only then the person is going to open up. Or only then the person is going to tell his or her problems to you. And the leader also becomes more effective. That the only way the leader for him to show his effectiveness is only if he shows compassion. If he doesn't show compassion, his leadership style is not going to be effective. It's going to be authoritative. So are we short of leaders in this world? Are we short of compassionate leaders? Some of them are from the 20th century. Okay? Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela. We are also seeing people mushroom in the 21st century. Malala, Dalai Lama, and not to miss Mata Amritandra Devi, popularly known as Amma. compassionate leader. They are leaders who operate their base on compassion. They're extremely grounded. Doesn't matter what strata of the society they interact with, whether it's a Nobel laureate who is using his intellect or the person at the grassroots level who has absolute new education. They can connect with them at the grassroots level. That's very powerful. It's not easy. And it's compassion. So it's not weak. As we are transitioning, we are seeing newer forms of, we are seeing that in Malala. Haven't we? We have seen that. Strong, brave, using compassion in a very difficult situation and a territory. The next and foremost for compassion is also listening. Everybody listens. In the 20th century also all the leaders listened. But was it reflective? Unless and until you reflect on what the person is telling intently and thinking about it, why are she coming and sharing that issue? Why are he coming and complaining about that issue? If we don't reflect, we are not working on it. We are not serious. We are not bonding. We are not understanding. We are not fit to be a leader. And it's both ways. Even the other person is equally reflecting on how we are listening. So it's both. So reflective listening is not just one way, it's both ways. Unless and until we do reflective listening, we are not going to be successful. For compassion, one of the most important aspects is reflective listening. Many people think that compassion and leadership are two ends of a spectrum. They think that compassion cannot be in the dining table. It has to be in the far corner of the dining table. No. Times have changed. Compassion is going to be right in the front of the dining table. They're going to be along. It's all converging at the top. No longer leadership style is without compassion. It has to have compassion in it. It's extremely important. So it's no longer two ends of the spectrum. It's together. It's part of the spectrum. The second lever is responsibility. In responsibility, first you have to have it in yourself that I am responsible. If you are not thinking responsibility towards yourself, you cannot be responsible. So responsibility comes from you first, not the other side. It has to point at you towards. The World Economic Forum, which is going to happen next month, but it's not the topic that it's going to be next month. It was what happened last year, 2017. The fundamental theme was two things. It was responsiveness and responsible. That was a fundamental theme that World Economic Forum of world leaders across various streams were there. And they were talking only two things. The theme had two keywords. One was, how can you be responsive? And how can you be responsible? That's exactly what they were talking about. They focused, as part of that, they focused on three things. They said the value has to be fundamental towards the vision that you're going. Only then your action is going to be grounded on those value systems. And that value system, two of the fundamental things is compassion and responsibility. It is a shift. One of the things that they were talking about in World Economic Forum is a shift from the 20th century leadership style, which was saying the ability to respond. That was a style. I mean, I started my career in organizations where the leadership style was, hey, are you able? Are you capable? Are you responsive? It's changed. Are you responsible? Can you stand there and say, I'm sorry, I screwed it up. I'm sorry we failed. I'm together with you, and I am responsible for that failure. Not just response, they're not just being showing response and showing the ability. It is also saying, because all of us are going to fail. We all are going to fail. 100%. I've failed 3 times in my 40 years. I'm still only mid-40. I failed 3 times. Miserable failures. We all are going to fail. Be ready for failures. Don't be afraid of failures. Be ready for failures. Take the responsibility. Say that it's not the team, it's me. I'm the one who screwed it up. I'm the one who said, let's do it. I'm the one who took them forward. I'm the one who's going to be ready saying that, yes, we thought it was going to work. It didn't work. That's okay. We have learned it. So the style has changed. Demands have changed. Challenges have changed. The generation is saying, can you take that responsibility? I am ready to take. Can you take it? That's what they're demanding from leaders. That's what is expected out of you. One of the most important requirements in the 4th industrial revolution. We are all, the 4th industrial revolution is already there. It's extremely demanding. Is what? Knowledge. It's a knowledge economy. Knowledge is money. Today's mantra is knowledge is money. And for knowledge, fundamental requirement is what? Do you know who the 2 people are? The one suited and booted is Warren Buffett, typical Wall Street. And the one on the sweater? Bill Gates. You know how much time Warren Buffett's 80% of his time, you know what he does? Reads. You know what Bill Gates does? His 2-week annual vacation, you know what he does? Reads. It's a reading vacation time. It's a generation, the 4th industrial revolution requires you to read, requires you to be knowledgeable. For you to be knowledgeable, the fundamental aspect is reading. You don't read, these people read. They are already beyond. Warren is probably 75. Bill is already probably 60s or early 60. They read. They are extremely knowledgeable because they read. The only way to do it is read. You have to read. The 2G has become a 2G, no scam. Why? No evidence. Can spectrum be felt? No. Spectrum cannot be felt. That was the fundamental thing in spectrum. In this whole transaction, it's not tangible. It's not tangible. When you have a tangible asset, I can trade, I can give it to you, and if my fundamental principle is, I want to make money, unethical way, the transactions also, unethically, they will be tangible and blatant. It's no longer tangible and blatant. It's a favor here. I'll bend a rule here a little bit. I'll do a favor for your family or for somebody there. Why? Because people do not understand what it is. It's complicated. The only way to understand that is, you have to read. You have to know. You have to understand through the lines what exactly is spectrum. What is this asset? How should it be transacted? What it is? What is required? You all can stand for it. You all, if you understand, the generations further and further, assets are going to be intangible. It's only tangible that you can sell. And you have to ensure that there is no wrong means in it. If not, people are going to walk out scot-free. If not, scams are going to be non-scams. That is what is going to happen. The reason is because priorities are not set right. In our country, we easily get distracted by silly things. No longer a scam which was so important has just withered away. Why? Because we don't have priorities. We don't set on our priorities. We don't follow through. Chetan Bhagat beautifully said this recently about the 2G scam. Beautifully said. Because we get distracted with silly things. So we are easily forgiving and we don't follow through. Because fundamentally we don't have values. Because if you do not have that strong value with you, if your priorities are not right, if you don't have that reflective listening capability, if you don't show that compassion, you do not have the ingredients for leadership for the 20th century. These are fundamental aspects which package and which are required for the 21st century leadership. That's exactly what is needed from the millenniums out here. I leave it from here. Thank you very much.